Bam, bam, bang, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, please. Hey, yo, how's it going, everyone? Entropy here today with another video. Today is the day after the OTT event on Global, and so with this 1-day period left, remember to exchange for whichever units you want. There is support for Susanoo, you have support for Tsukiyomi, you have support for Battle Sisters, and you have support for Magus. So practically every archetype in OTT, basically every archetype, like literally every archetype, right? But which one do I think is the most competitive of them all? And the answer, in my opinion, is Susanoo. With the Jiera support, with a little bit more draw, a little more synergy with strides and all that, I think it is the go-to deck out there. It's not the only OTT deck out there, but I think it is the best from my experience. So today I'm gonna go through my list. I've done a Susanoo deck profile before, but let's see what new units have been added. Let's see how the deck plays out and what my thoughts on this is. So, of course, there are many skins. Which one's your favorite? Let me know down below. But let's look at the list. Starting off with the starter, we do have some new stuff. That, you have some stuff that's particularly supports Magus or whatever, but for the Susanoo list, I am going to stick with Lozenji Magus. Lozenji Magus is just so solid, very pretty, and it lets you draw cards, lets you add another heal into the deck. So, even though having this in your hand isn't the best, but even though drawing into a heal is not a best overall, still drawing into a heal guard now is going to be a 15k guard from hand, and so that definitely helps during this game. So it definitely helps. You're going to be drawing a lot, and if you do draw into this Lozenji Magus instead of the other heal guards, well, you can always just boost it and put it back to the deck. So it's a really nice recyclable heal. Next, we're playing 4 of the Stride Fighters. This is great because we are playing Susanoo focused anyway, so if we do miss out on Susanoo, we can always search for it. We play a duo, a pair of 4 Cocos and 4 of the OGPG Battle Sister Chocolat. So important to note that this PG doesn't proc like most other PGs at this point. If you remember way back when, in like set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4, how the PGs work is there are 2 conditions. First of all, if you're about to die, proc the PG. Second of all, if you're going to be dealt multiple damage and pushed 1 damage away from lethal, so if you're going from 3 to 5 or maybe 2 to 5, then this PG will proc as well. So there are more than 1 activation conditions. It is important to note that it doesn't have the counter charge, but it does give you a little bit of defensive maneuver. You don't get to choose, but it's there. So it is, you don't play it particularly for that skill, but it is something to note when you're setting up your plays. But the reason why we're playing the old PG is because of Coco. So this card skill, Vanguard Vigor Circle, when placed, check the top card and put it to the top or the bottom of the deck. If that card is the PG, you directly add it to your hand. And this is great, straight up just add the PG. And if it's not a PG or whatever, you can check, oh, stand trigger, I'm just going to keep it at the top. If you have the board, if you don't, put it to the bottom, you can save it for later. So I definitely really like the ability to just check the top card whenever you place this and have a chance to just add a PG to your hand, which is great. And lastly, we play 1 of the 8k. You can definitely play more 8ks if you want, instead of the 6ks or whatever. If you want to play the counter-charging PGs, you can definitely do that, because the deck does kind of last quite a bit. But overall, I just like the ability to just set up my plays, because the deck doesn't have multi-attack besides hitting those stand triggers, and being able to plus easily, especially early on to the game, is really nice. For the grade 2s, we're playing 4 of the new Imperial Shrine Guard Akagi. So Akagi is really great. Vigor Circle GP1 when placed if your Vanguard's a grade 3 grade Susanoo. Your +1, so +1, checked up to, add 1 to your hand, put the rest to the bottom of the deck, and give this unit plus 2k. So first of all, it's an 11k beater, so when you restand this with a stand trigger, it's a 16k by itself without a booster, which is really nice. And because of this, you don't really need to worry about if you have the 8k boosters or not. Even the 6k booster will still help you hit 22, which should be good enough. Secondly, it does require your Vanguard to be grade 3 or greater Susanoo, but recognize that we do have grade 4. Oh, we don't have. It does count as a Susanoo. So we do have a grade 4 Susanoo. So even if you do miss Ryan Susanoo, if you're not playing a Susanoo focus build, you could still situationally proc this out. So that's something to recognize as well. Draw 1 is still good. Next we play 4 of the Rigged Crane. Rigged Crane is quite neat. It introduces the new skill Oracle, which says when you have 5 or more cards in your hand. So even though we don't play 9 draws, this is still really doable. And because the whole shtick of OTT is drawing cards, right? So GB1, during your turn it gets 2k, so it's an 11k beater, and when it hits the Vanguard, counter charge 1, soul charge 1. And this is really helpful because its buddy, Akagi here, requires soul plus 1, counter plus 1. So you pair them up, you hit the stand trigger and you hit, then you basically refunded this card skill or cost, and that's nice. We played 2 of the Kuroi Kazuchi. It's not that great, but it's basically your generic, when it attacks the Vanguard, GB1, it boosted, counter plus 1. Well, do something, in this case drawing a card. It's not too amazing, but because we don't play 9 draws, I think it's definitely helpful to help us draw some cards. We don't play the countercharging PGs, so playing something like the Libra on hit counter last 2, draw 1 is a little bit iffy, so this is cheap, and it is fine. It is fine. And lastly, we play 3 Silent Toms. You can definitely play 4 of them, and we don't play as many AK boosters. So you might think like, oh, we're not hitting 16, that's an awkward Silent Tom. But we do have strides that help us pump up the numbers and that help us mitigate that issue. So it's honestly fine. It's honestly fine. Next, we play 3 of the new Flip Crooney. Flip Crooney is your new, rearguard support, I guess. You don't really want to ride this. Vanguard Rearguard Circle, GB1, Oracle. When this hits a Vanguard, check top 2, add 1 to your hand, put 1 to the bottom of the deck. So basically, kind of like a Akagi, but on hit. We play 4 of the Susanoo. This is your main ride. It has plus 5k plus 1 crit if you do need it, if you want the crit pressure, damage to deny maybe when your opponent's at 4. In addition, when you strike, count plus 1, check top 2, and once your hand, put the rest at the bottom. So it's just an easy plus 1, simple to use, and on place plus 3k. We play 2 of the Nebula Witch Nono, which is quite cute. GB1 at the end of the battle, this unit boosted, so plus 1, draw a card and put this back to your deck. So this is nice because you can put this onto the board before your Vanguard attacks, put this back to the deck, shuffle, and you still have a chance to proc it during the same turn, essentially. So that is quite neat. Be careful to manage your soul because these 2 cards both use the soul. Sometimes I do re-ride just to use the Akagi skills or the Nodo skills, so that does come up sometimes. And 15k Field Guard, of course. Next, your first stride generally going to be the Kirin. Still on hit, check top 2, do the same thing. Still really good. 1 of the Harmonics because why not? We play 1 of the 9-headed Dragon King. Now this card is a little iffy, like is it that amazing? It's not, but as a one-off I think it's definitely fine to have. It helps you kind of mitigate those brick moments. OTT does draw a lot. This card doesn't really plus for you, but it helps you on brick. And in some games when it's really, really terrible, well, sometimes maybe the Dragon King can help out. And yeah, and of course GB2, we could go into the Takemi Kazuchi. Really simple, Camelus 2, G Persona, check top 4, add 2 cards to your hand, put the rest at the bottom, so it's just draw 2 cards. Last time I checked, Pot of Greed was banned, so that's nice. And the Kamu Susanoo. So this is the new Susanoo. When it plays G Persona Blast, you get 2 of skills. First of all, on hit, check top 2, add 1 to your hand, put the rest at the bottom. So it's basically a Korean. And secondly, you have a GB3, all your units get plus 2k. All your units get plus 2k, right? So Tom is a 10k beater, these are 8k boosters, these are 10k boosters, and these are 9k boosters. So because of this, I'm not too worried about playing that, like needing to play like a lot of 8k boosters. I am fine, comfortable playing the Susanoo grade 4, have the extra 2k and be able to hit some numbers that I need. The thing is though, of course, ideally I'd play 4 of this. Maybe drop 1 of the Kirin and drop 1 of the Harmonics, or maybe drop 1 of the 9-headed Dragon King. But the thing is, like, even right now, I think it's good enough. It's good enough, and it's what I have. So if you do have more stride options, definitely play around with it. I think GRs are good. GRs are good for sure, and definitely play them if you have them. But generally, you don't want to commit the Silent Tom when it's your first time you're asking for lethal, because your opponent probably still has heal guards, and 16 is still heal guard numbers, 21 is still heal guard numbers. So you do need to push a little before committing the silent toms and making those plays. And that just works better from my experience. And so, you know, when your opponent's at 5 already, restanding a silent tom, whether that's 15 or 13, doesn't really matter too much. And so not having 4 of this isn't too big of a deal. Of course, I think it's better if you do have them. So that's basically it for the deck analysis portion of the video. I'm going to go straight into a game or two and see how this deck performs. While I'm doing that, I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already and want to see more. Of course, thank you so much to the members, Kamui, 2Mellow, Casey, and ZBD. Thank you so much for being members. And if you haven't already and never checked out my live streams for some reason, then please consider supporting my Twitch, link in the description down below, where hopefully I can do more live stream content and do more content overall. This channel is still going to be focused on Vanguard 0, but I do want to give a little bit of little test on some other games or genres as well. I think that would be good to figure out. So we're going to be going first against Spike Brothers, which would be interesting. I think this is a pretty solid hand, honestly. We're just going to try to mitigate the rush and play off that. In terms of the setup, honestly, having the Poco, that's my first ride. I do really just like riding it. 7k is also fine. I do like to keep the 8k because it's a one-off, and the number is actually really helpful because it's the one card that helps us hit 16 with Silent Tom without committing anything else. Grade 2s generally ride the Crane. That's fine. The 9k as well is also fine. I want to put this at the bottom. I'd rather save that. And then grade 3s, obviously Susanoo. So there you go. Let's see if this is a... What kind of Spikes player this is. Is this Dudley? Is this Bad End? I don't know. Reckless Express played in all Spike Brother decks, so still really hard to tell. Spikes is getting support soon. And I do have a deck profile of the G-Era Spikes. I don't think I'm a great player at G-Era Spikes, but you know, if you're interested in a rough introduction to it, definitely go check that out as well. So we have a lot of cards. I do want to put the Lozenji into the deck, and I'm just gonna call this out. Just thing for 12, and I hope they don't see a defensive. Nice, Dudley Daisy. I'm leaning towards this being a Dudley deck. Heal. Good for them. And we do know that the heal is at the bottom of the deck, so shuffling here is pretty solid. A lot of your skills put cards to the bottom. Flip Kruni, your Susanoo, your Kirin, your Takemikazuchi, your Kame Susanoo. So while this deck isn't as good or as fast as checking cards and putting to the bottom, so you can't really set up a stack as fast like Tsukiyomi, this is not the main idea of the deck after all. It is something that is helpful if you have the opportunity to be mindful of it, because your timing for your Lozenji Maguses or your timing for certain other pieces that may shuffle the deck or adjust the stack can definitely help, especially when the games are really grindy. So 2 Silent Toms to the damage. It's not what I want because we only played 3, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. So we're gonna call this out. Check. PG, easy. Draw a card. So yeah, 9 and then 14 to 11. If we see a stand, then that's 20. So that's gonna definitely hit. And speaking of the stand, I'm glad the game understands and just gives us what we need. Good content. Right? No trigger, but that's okay. I prefer it that way. Okay, speak of the trigger. Alright, 1 PG to the damage. They did, I'm pretty sure they did use the Mecha Trainer for the PG though. So that's something to know. They're gonna go into the Dudley Emperor. Honestly, one of my favorite units. I really love this card back in the set 6, set 7 meta. It is one of the decks that carried me back in the Limit Break era because I spent a lot of that time saving gems and didn't really get to spend a lot. Flash Spruce. So next turn, you know, we don't have a lot of grade 2s and all that, but we do have a lot of opportunities to draw. Like we stride, we draw, we hit, we draw, we hit, we draw. So one thing to note is that we do need to manage our hand size. Like again, we don't play 9 draws, so Oracle isn't like basically guaranteed like in the 9 draw OTT, but we do need to play the stand to get a little bit of pressure. Like without it, then we got nothing. We're just like the generic 3 attack deck that relies on Silent Tom, and I don't think that's the best for this metagame at this moment. I don't think that would give it the offensiveness that a deck would require in this modern metagame. So we do see a grade 2, that's nice. We're gonna go into the Kirin. Going into the 900 Dragons is also a fine choice. You know, getting rid of these cards. Let's see, what do we want? What do we want here? Alright, maybe we'll just try for the draw. Let's try for the draw right now and see how that goes. Grandmaster 1, draw 1. Okay, well, heal it is. How many stands do we have? 2, 5. I feel comfortable committing this. So because we hit, we're going to draw 1, so the Oracle is going to be active. So if we do see a stand, I would prioritize standing on the right side, but we don't, and that's unfortunate. 2, which one do I want? I would rather the no-no. At least we can put it back to the deck, right? Unfortunately, we were looking for 1 stand, maybe 2, and we triple drived, and it was like the next 2 cards. That just happened. Unfortunate. But our opponents have GB2 already, so they could go into the Dudley Stride, and that is very deadly. I don't know if we can survive that. Okay, going into the Flash Boost, don't really want to commit all in yet. Okay, just wants to inch to the goal. Okay, Dudley Daisies. Just 14 and 26. Are they going to hit with the 26 first? That's interesting. Okay, no on hit, that's fine. No defensives, unfortunate. Okay, we have 3 heals. We have a bunch of triggers left that, unfortunately, somewhere at the bottom of the deck, right? So that's not good, but it is what it is. Silent Tom, alright. Let's go into the Susanoo. So that makes the whole board get extra 2k, hit some numbers, and maybe we can ask for lethal. Okay, awesome. Drawing into another stand trigger. That's not what we're looking for. PG. PG. Does PG help us win? That's the question. Well, not like the other one's gonna help us win. Hobo gets extra power. Dropping that stand down means we aren't at Oracle numbers, which is a shame, but I'd rather have a better chance at hitting stands. That's what I prefer. So heal trigger, and we're gonna put that power to the Rear Guard. Actually, I'm gonna ask for the Heal Guard instead of the PG, because the Heal Guard can block Silent Tom, but the PG can't block Silent Tom. Drawing into PG, that's great, that's great. Boom! That's it. GG WP. Nice, that's game. So yeah, hitting numbers good. And I think this game is a demonstration of why in some cases you don't want to hit those 15k numbers. And the most obvious answer is Silent Tom, but there are other scenarios. For example, you don't want to proc the PG to give them that counter charge 1. You'd rather just ask them for heal guards before going into the PGs. That does come up from time to time, really rarely, but when in those situations, right, you want to make the best play, and that is the best play from time to time. So we're gonna go second against Grand Blue. Grand Blue is no doubt tier 1 deck, right? Easy statement. So let's see how OTT fares against So Grenache, is it Grenache or Grenache? Negrabone. Okay, we're gonna go into the SP. And I love the attack animation, like throwing knives. Reminds me of that Moon Knight meme. Don't really want this yet. Let's save it for later. Yeah, let's save this for later. Shoot. Stand. Wasted, but that's okay. Just one stand. What is this? Is this the 17? 14, 16. Math is hard. Math is hard. 6. Luckily, we did draw into the Murakumo, which will help us search for the Susanoo. Wrong plan, bro. But yeah, just gonna swing. Not gonna commit for the 5k to actually hit anything. Like, we're 6k number. Like, shouldn't be too hard. But okay, like, they wanted to die. I don't really care for it. What do we want? We have a huge hand. I think writing this is fine. Call this out. Ditch this. 2, 4, 6. I'm just gonna swing. Let's leave it. Okay, cool. Heal. Not cool. Not cool. Not cool. Yeah, using the Murakumo is also one way to shuffle the deck. So we knew that the heal was at the bottom, right? So shuffling, seeing heal, not bad. Oh, first time seeing this animation for myself after playing this game for quite a while now, so that's cool. Alright, that PG to the damage, that's unfortunate. Draw trigger. No heals, unfortunate. That's 5 heals in deck and 4 heals in deck. Susanoo. Let's stride. Yeah, just this. This is fun. Kidding. Tom is nice. Tom is nice. So yeah, finally I get to show off Oracle. So it helps us get the soul, get the counter charge, use more skills. Ah, the heal. That's unfortunate. That's not good. Stand is nice. We need one more trigger. One more trigger. Stand. Unfortunate. Doesn't really help. I mean, it does help. Obviously, it helps us hit numbers. So I don't know why I'm complaining. But yeah, that's fine. So just sack stands. That's the only way you have some offensive pressure besides Silent Tom. And good to go. Good to go. Look at all these rank reward Night Roses. I hope you're grinding as well, getting the pieces that you need. Ghosty, Obadiah. First stride turn. Whereas Obadiah is just such a great unit. Helps you. You get to pick 3, and it's like whatever you want, right? I know some lists play the grade 1 Ghosty as well, which then helps you mill 1 more. But it just depends on your playstyle. But I think just without it, it's good enough. You know, you get your Cannoneer to snipe stuff. You have your Negro Lazy to call more stuff. Nigruk to hit some numbers. You have Negro Bone to multi-attack as well. Just, you have so many options that you can just pick and choose. You know, cards like King Serpent is also fine. Just helps you refund. Helps you work with your costs and all that. But I don't know. I feel like they needed to push a little bit more. I'm not sure why they were so. I don't know. I feel like it's too too slow, this play. Grand Blue needs to be a bit faster, and this is not what I'm expecting. Yeah, they do have the multi-attack, but they have one more, like they have the 16. 16, yeah. That's fine. Couldn't they have gotten the starter? Gotten the starter, that's 16, and then they get the counter charge too. Anyways. Too early to use the Tom, I feel. We kind of need it. Can we Susanoo? I feel like it's too early. Is it too early? 11k. Takemikazuchi. How many PGs do we have? We have 1. Alright, let's go into the Takemikazuchi. I hope I didn't butcher the name. I said it like 3 times in the last, like, Takemika. Yeah, it's okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Draw. Oh, this is. Oh, these are both nice. These are both nice. These are both nice. I'll take this one. Let's see what we get. Draw 1. Okay. Okay, okay. Heal. I do want to heal though. I do want to stand though. Okay. This is it. What is it? Bottom. Draw 2. Alright, here goes nothing. Timer scary. And at this point I need to worry about decking out too. So hopefully. Stand! Stand. Heal. Heal's nice. Stand. There's 1 left only. Oh, there we go. That's stand. That's nice. That's a PG. That's a PG. Okay, very big numbers, but we don't have any stands in the deck left. Which, I don't know how I feel about that. I think we drew a bit too much there. I think we definitely did. Because generally, Grand Blue is the one that's supposed to be decking out. But here we are with all the cards in the world, but might not have the chance to finish it off. Super unfortunate. Ditching 2 cards to Stride? Yes, that's really nice for Grand Blue because it sounds dumb, but they are setting up some units that they want in the drop zone to do stuff. So taking advantage of the mechanics, and I mean they could just always call it out and like step on it, I guess, but this is fancier, right? This looks cool. Alright, on hit, multi-attack, and then attacking, multi-attack, and then attacking, multi-attack, lots of multi-attacking. But I guess it doesn't matter, because they do want to use the 9 rows, Vanguard, attacking Vanguard anyways, right? So, let's see if they see any triggers. Let's hope they don't see any heals! That'd be nice. We have 8 cards in hand. If they use a skill, we're going to proc a PG. The good thing is that we only have 1 trigger left in the deck, so it's not too worrisome. Call 2 things, calling the starter out, gets the card charge, of course. And with this, you can call another front row. So now I'm just hoping they don't see heals or whatever. They do have double intercept, which is hard to get through. Like, we only have 1 shot to the face. It's likely they have heals, but if we just survive for 2 more turns, we survive this turn and the next turn, I think we win. Okay, that's 1 PG. $15. That's a heal that blocks out that that column. So back in the TCG, you could play 4 Legendary Maguses, right? So I remember back in the day, I think around like the set 8, set 9 meta, there was an OTT player that would just keep looping their Legendary Maguses. It was pretty ridiculous. Just drawing into them and then putting them back to the deck and then drive checking them offensively, which goes to your hand, not the drop zone. Like 0. So good times. Let's skip. Not really. I might want to save it for later. The Silent Tom. Do I save it for later? Kind of need it for right now, but I do feel confident that they do have a heal guard in their hand. I might draw a card. Yeah, I might draw a card. I can draw a card. If I draw, then I'm at 3 cards. Right? Yeah, I can draw. It's not like I can take a damage anyways. Oh. No, I wanted the Silent Tom. Oh man, I'm bad at this game. Oh no, I wanted the Silent Tom. Now it's at the bottom of the deck. I could have tried. Oh, and the next card is a Tom. Next card is a Tom, so we get double Tom next turn. So that's cool. Yeah, they did have the heal guard. That's expected. Right now we have 2 intercepts and 2 PGs and 1 heal guard. So if they can hit through that, then they win. If they can't, then we win. And the likelihood of them being able to do that is high because Rearguard to Rearguard, Vanguard attacks, reset the front row with Negro Lazy, resets the other front row, and then after Negro Lazy attacks, one heal guard, then the other column attacks, 1 PG, and then they reset new column with Negro Bone, and then they win. So that's really unfortunate. We really did need to win last turn. We couldn't survive an extra turn. But yeah, I mean, that's why some decks are meta and some decks are not. But that doesn't mean we weren't close. We could have clutched it. I think it was definitely a close match, right down to the last few cards, right, for both players. So it is what it is. The only chance we have is a misplay here. So, oh wait, no, they don't have the. Oh yeah, they have it. Yeah, I was about to say they don't have the counterblast, but then they do have the King Serpent. So they win. That's it. Oh wait, no, they can only Superior Call 1. Unless they have another King Serpent. They don't have another King Serpent. Oh hey. The tables have turned. No, the turns have tables. When it hits, you get the counter charge. Okay, awesome. So they can't use both Negro Lazy and the Negro Bone. I forgot the GR skill is counterblast too. So we did make it through this turn. Now the only way we can win is if our opponent doesn't have a heal guard in their hand. If they do, then it's GG. If they don't, it's GG. So either way, it's GG. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Red skip, not striding. Double Tom formation. Let's go. They didn't concede, which means I'm expecting a heal guard, but maybe they're just giving us the honorable kill. Bam, bang, and here we go. 3, 2, 1, please. Nope. Fortunately, there's a reason why they weren't checking heals, and the reason is because they have them in their hand. So that's super unfortunate. That was a close game. Honestly, that was a pretty close game. We survived 2 onslaughts. They had to go into the Magnet Realm. They got all the GRs. I mean, we were not too shabby. We have 4 GRs, but unfortunately, not having the deck size, not having the stand triggers again means we're a 3-attack deck, and that severely inhibits our ability to make plays. So it is what it is. But we had a really close match with Ground Blue, and I feel pretty good about that. So we're gonna take this loss. Maybe get recruited to be a pirate now that our boys are dead. But yeah, that's GG. Good games. So that's basically it for the deck. Got to showcase some stuff. the draw power. You can see how comfortable we were with our cards, even though we don't play any draws at all, like draw triggers. You could see how we can recycle triggers, how we could set up the bottom of the deck, but also shuffle it up to make sure that we still see those cards. For example, we check the heel, put it at the bottom, and then we still shuffled with Legendary Magus, other stand triggers, and showcase the new Susanoo, which is really great. And of course, Silent Tom wins games, stand triggers, puts pressure. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much to the members. Again, Kamui, 2Mellow, ZBD, and Casey. Appreciate you for being members of the channel. If you liked it, like the video and subscribe if you haven't already and want to see more. So that's my Susanoo list. Comment down below which of the multiple archetypes in OTT is your favorite. You know, what are you playing more recently? I think OTT is a pretty accessible clan because you have support for so many different variations. You have Susanoo from the G era, but you also have stuff like Battle Sisters all the way from set 1. You have stuff like Magus that was more of the Limerick era, and other stuff in between. Tsukiyomi from set 4, which meta. Set 2 actually, which was incredibly meta. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye.